You're listening to WTIM, your information station, and it's time now for your expanded local news. A Christian County man is facing serious charges after a months-long investigation by the Illinois State Police. 44-year-old William C. Wanless of Edinburgh was arrested June 12th and is being held in the Christian County Jail. He faces 2 Class X felony counts and 1 Class 1 felony count of possessing child pornography with the intent to distribute. State Police special agents with the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force began their investigation in March. During the investigation, digital evidence was uncovered linking Wanless to child sexual abuse material at his home. Authorities from ISP, the Edinburgh Police Department, and the Illinois Attorney General's Office executed a search warrant last week and took Wanless into custody. Charges were filed by the Christian County State's Attorney. State Police encourage anyone with information about crimes against children to report it anonymously through the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children's Cyber Tip Line, which is available at report.cybertip.org. Resources for keeping kids safe online and for survivors of abuse are available at safeonlinesmart.com and also at missingkids.org. The Christian County Economic Development Corporation has been busy expanding the enterprise zone, but now focus on the Taylorville Industrial Park. The City of Taylorville has approved the purchase of the industrial park from the Taylorville Development Association. This eventual change in ownership has the CCEDC and prospective investors in Christian County excited for what's to come. Matt Hart, Christian County Economic Development Corporation Executive Director, tells the history on how this purchase became possible, and Hart believes this to be a great acquisition for all that are involved.
Yeah, this is actually a really great thing for the city and for the county. So a lot of people know about the Taylorville Commercial Industrial Park, which is a project that was spearheaded by the Taylorville Development Association, which is a not-for-profit organization that has been involved in the industrial park out by the airport in Taylorville. And there were some mine subsidence issues with some of the land that they were marketing and had there. And so about 6-7 years ago, they pivoted and they said, let's try to develop on the north side of Taylorville on Route 29, where we have 12,000 vehicles a day. And so the Taylorville Development Association got a grant from the federal government that helped them build a 46-acre commercial and industrial park. And there's 17 lots in that industrial park. And they range anywhere from a half an acre up to, I think the largest tract, I think, is 16 acres. But they can also be combined as well. And we have a lot of people looking at that industrial park. We've got some developers looking at it. We've got some other businesses looking at it. But the city of Taylorville has proceeded on purchasing that. And that's actually a very good thing for economic development.
Hart explains that the process of purchasing land in the industrial park will be made much simpler moving forward.
When a developer is looking and they want to build, of course, you're always talking with the levels of government, but there was this extra level involved with the Taylorville Development Association because they are the landowner. And now, by the city buying the industrial park, the city will be able to negotiate not only things involving the land and zoning and water, but a developer will be dealing with one less person. And we see this in other communities where the local government is the main person that you're dealing with. I can tell you in the conversations that I've had with people who are looking at that industrial park, they've already expressed to me they're very happy that the city is buying that and are talking with the city. And our hope is that this will make it even easier to get businesses to come here and to break ground.
Midwest Meter is expanding their operations and building a brand new warehouse. For Hart, it goes to show Christian County businesses have the right incentives to stay.
Which you may have not noticed, but you will start noticing very quickly, is just to the west of that, but on that same 30-acre tract that Sloan's purchased, they've sold 7 acres, the seven most western acres, and that's where you're seeing some new activity now, where Midwest Meter, which is an Edinburgh business, is building a new 10,000 square foot warehouse. And the concrete footings are going in this week. And a lot of people don't know, when Route 29 went through Edinburgh before we built the bypass, most people will remember seeing Midwest Meter as you drive through on Old Route 29 that goes through town. Midwest Meter is an it's absolute gem that we have in the county. A lot of people don't even know that the Midwest Meter is there unless you're in the municipal water business or the water meter business. But Midwest Meter is a fantastic company. It was established in 1963. Don Luttrell and David Luttrell are great guys there that run that. But Midwest Meter's got over 30 employees. They've got offices in Missouri, Indiana, and Wisconsin, but their corporate headquarters is right here in Christian County.
E.L. Pruitt Company has also made some big changes. Recently, they've moved to an existing space to create a 50,000 square foot facility here in Taylorville.
The building that used to had B&R Marine there, B&R Marine consolidated their operations in 3 different locations. They consolidated those in the county in Pana a little over a year ago, and that freed up that building on Park Street in Taylorville. And John Pruitt and the guys from E.L. Pruitt saw that building. When you talk about economic development, 85% of the time when someone wants a new facility, they want something that already exists. And so while that opened up a building in Taylorville, that opened up a new opportunity for someone to utilize that. And that's exactly what E.L. Pruitt did. They needed that type of building. That's a 55,000 square foot now state-of-the-art pipe fabrication facility. And some of the technology in that building will blow your mind. These are computer controlled systems that were made actually in Europe and were shipped over here. But now E.L. Pruitt is fabricating pipe at this new 55,000 square foot facility right here in Taylorville, and that employs workers. That brings trucks here. That brings families here. That brings taxes here, and all because we had an existing building, which also, by the way, is in the enterprise zone.
The Illinois Economic Development Association conference was held this last week, and Hart says it was a great opportunity for him to learn alongside others.
Sure. So this meeting over the last day and a half it's an annual gathering of all the economic development corporation of directors and agencies all across the state, as well as the Illinois Department of Economic Opportunity and Intersect Illinois, Intersect Illinois is the marketing arm, if you will, of the state of Illinois. But we had Kristen Richards, who is the director of DCEO yesterday. We had Christy George, who's the president and CEO of Intersect Illinois yesterday as well. This morning, we've got more panels going on this morning. But it's really a chance for us to come together and hear about the latest in economic development and what other economic development corporations are doing in other counties across the state, kind of swapping notes, finding out what successes are working, how we're attracting more businesses to Illinois. A lot of people, may not know that Illinois is actually the #1 state in the Midwest for business creation.
Find out more about the Christian County Economic Development Corporation by visiting christiancountyedc.com. Matt Hart appeared as a guest on the WTIM Morning Show. The Taylorville Public Library is still welcoming community members to join their summer reading program now until June 26th, with a pool party and pizza to close things out. Anyone at any age is invited to join and see if you can come out of the competition as top reader. The Taylorville Public Library also has a Medicare workshop scheduled for Wednesday, July 23rd, mixed in with their already regular programming. Aaron Cromit, Programming and Outreach Manager with the Taylorville Public Library, talks prizes and the summer reading program pool party that's scheduled for Saturday, June 28th.
Yes, I just wanted to reiterate and just really make sure that everybody knows that the signups are still open. We have 2 more weeks of exciting programming, crafts, events, and it ends with a free pool and pizza party at the Y on the 28th. So we're allowing people to sign up all the way to the 26th. We're open to everybody. You don't have to have a card, don't have to be a resident, and it's all ages. If you can't make it in, you give us a call and I'll sign you up. Everybody has to be signed up with summer reading to come to these events, but they're all free. We have a bunch of really cool crafts and activities. We have a local author, Fred Durbin, is coming in on the 26th at 6 to discuss his different projects and encourage us to level up, which is the theme of this year's program, Level Up at Your Library. And at the end, we have a celebration free pool and pizza party at the YMCA on Saturday, June 28th from 10 to 1.
Crumit goes on to share some additional upcoming events that the library will be on hand for, including Christian County Fair's Community Day on Wednesday.
I will have a table with some giveaways and some information about our programs, and usually I sit there and do coloring or simple crafts with the kids and things like that. So let's see, the first one will be Wednesday, July 16th from 4 to 8 p.m., and that will be the Christian County Agricultural Fair Community Day. We did that last year and we had a blast. So of course, we wanted to be a part of that again. Again, that's Wednesday, July 16th from 4 to 8, and it's the Christian County Fairgrounds. We have Wednesday, July 30th from 9 to 3. We will be at the Christian County Health Department Health Fair. And let's see what else. We've got Saturday, August 2nd from 10 to 2. We will be doing the Back to School Health and Resource Fair at the YMCA here in Taylorville.
Crumit says that local author and educator Fred Durbin will host a creative writing class at the Taylorville Public Library scheduled for June 26th.
Well, I am really excited. I mentioned it before, but there is a local author and an educator. His name is Fred Durbin. He's from Taylorville. He lives in Pennsylvania now. And he does a really cool analog creative writing class on typewriters. And he's been featured in the Breeze Courier a few times. And he just did, they just had him on CBS Mornings. So he's going to be here on the 26th at 6 p.m. That'll be kind of exciting. And I think he'll be at the meeting the day after. That's something that we haven't really done before, but he contacted us. I figured, let's make it a part of the summer reading program. He was very into it. So that should be a really cool talk, too.
For those that are interested in learning more about Medicare coverage and their options, the library has a workshop planned for next month.
Yes, we have it. It's going to be Wednesday, July 23rd at 1 p.m. in the community room, and it's for ages 55 and up. It's free. Some people come here and really try and help people understand how they can make the best choices for their Medicare, how they can get the most out of it. And I've seen people come out of these events previously, and their faces are lit up because they're so excited. They learned a lot more than they thought they would. They're feeling like, empowered with this, they can make the right choices for their health. And that's something that they do quite frequently at the library. And that will be our next one on Wednesday, July 23rd at 1 p.m. in the community room.
Find out more about the Taylorville Public Library at taylorvillelibrary.org. You can also follow them on their Facebook and Instagram pages. Aaron Crumit appeared as a guest on the WTIM Morning Show. This will conclude the first portion of your expanded local news here in the 7 o'clock hour, and it's brought to you by First National Bank of Taylorville.
Have you ever considered changing banks? Hi, I'm Mackenzie, Universal Banker at First National Bank in Taylorville. I talk to people all the time who say they've thought about switching banks, but they're not sure how to start. My answer, it's never been easier. At FNBT, our friendly staff will confidently answer your questions, making your decision to switch easier than ever. FNBT has been a part of this community for nearly 70 years, and we're not going anywhere. First, every time, that's more than a slogan, it's how we take care of people. Come see me, and I'll help make your switch simple. First National Bank in Taylorville, member FDIC.
The Christian County Health Department wants the community to have a safe summer, whether it's at home or at a local event. Inspectors are actively tracking pests like ticks and mosquitoes for the various diseases that they may carry, while also managing temporary event permits for the many fairs and festivals. Additionally, the CCHD is working to organize their first ever annual health fair. Alexandra Everly, Lead and Vector Inspector, and Joe Torres, Environmental Health Director with the Christian County Health Department, talk recent changes to water testing. Previously, the CCHD could accept samples from existing water supplies. Now, with recent changes that have been passed down from the IDPH, only new water sources will be tested moving forward.
IDPH, the laboratories over there, have changed their criteria of what you can submit. So now they will only take initial testing for a new well that has been installed. And then the other reasons they would take a sample would be for an illness associated with private water or a outbreak associated with private water. All other tests, those who want to do like annual testing for their wells, need to go through a commercial lab to get that done. For both ways, we previously only tested for E. coli and coliform. So they would still, if they wanted to test for like heavy metals, they would still have to reach out to a commercial lab. We're currently kind of trying to find a lab to work with to see if we can kind of help the community out. But this was kind of thrown on us last minute, so we're we're trying to work through it.
Ticks and mosquitoes are on the CCHD's radar every summer, and this year is no different. Everly goes on to talk about tick control and how samples are gathered weekly.
Right now, we're approaching the warmest months, and they are still going to be present, but this is typically where you see nymphs start to come out versus the adults. So you can, I believe, get on IDPH's website, and they have a great resource of kind of to tell you when the adults are active versus the nymphs, which are the babies. And their adult life cycles and things like that, which is a great resource. But we do active tick surveillance. I'm actually doing one today, so if you see me out and about, I'll be suited up, and I drag a cloth to collect ticks. We've done 2 previous tick collections this season. Our first collection, we were able to collect 9, and my most recent, we collected 4 ticks to send off to IDPH for testing.
With all of the fairs and festivals throughout the area, Christian County Health Department would like to remind vendors about temporary event permits. These permits are valid at one location for up to 2 weeks, and you may only receive 1 temporary permit per month.
Yeah, absolutely. So right now we're seeing a lot of temporary events roll in. You can locate our temporary event application on our website, and this is for any vendor that is planning on serving food to the public. We just ask that any vendor submits their temporary event application 48 hours in advance to avoid a $30 late fee charge. We take that application and we review it. If any vendors have any questions about the application or the requirements for our temporary events, they can always call our office or email us, and we'd be more than happy to help them. So in Christian County, our temporary event permits are valid for 14 days in the same location.
The CCHD is finalizing plans to host an annual health fair. They've got it scheduled for July 30th. Community members can visit their location and learn more about the work that they do.
So it will be held on July 30th, which is a Wednesday from 8 to 4 at the Christian County Health Department. We are still kind of in the works of getting local health care providers and informational booths kind of aligned up, but we're going to have, all of our staff will be there to showcase what we do at the health department. We have our whole environmental team. We'll have the nursing team. The nursing staff will be doing like vaccines and stuff because school will be starting. So we want to get them kind of, get everybody done. That way they're not doing stuff last minute. And then we were going to have Chelsea, who's the interim director of nursing, come, but she couldn't make it today to kind of talk more about it. But, it'll be, we're planning on doing this yearly. This will be an annual thing that we're trying to do. The community, it seems like they want more information. There's so much information that we have, and this public outreach is something good that we can do for the community.
Find out more about the Christian County Health Department at cchdil.org. Joe Torres and Alexandra Everly appeared as guests on the WTIM Morning Show. This will conclude the second portion of your expanded local news. Moving now to obituaries, which can be found at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com and are brought to you by Sutton Memorial Home. This is Chad Sparks.
When a loved one passes, grieving family members and friends often are confronted with dozens of decisions about the funeral arrangements. Sutton Memorial Homes in Taylorville and Nokomis have been helping families in the area for over 55 years with these often difficult decisions. They offer pre-planning, traditional funerals, and cremation. Austin and the staff at Sutton Memorial Homes' goal is to make your family's transition easier in their time of need. Sutton Memorial Homes, where caring is what they do best.
Fortunately or unfortunately, there are no obituaries to report today. And if you want to see existing listings and obituaries, visit us at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com to do so. This has been your expanded local news here in the 7 o'clock hour. You're listening to WTIM, your information station. We'll be back around with more in just a few moments. You're listening to WTIM, your information station.
WTIM, your ag information station on AM, FM, and streamed at Taylorville.